Hello guys, Belle here. Today we are going to be taking a look at the artifact weapon in Legion for your Demonology Warlock. This is the skull of Manari, and it's important to note a few things in relation to the artifact weapon. So there isn't actually going to be any weapon drops in Legion. Your tune is as soon as you're 100, or as soon as Legion begins, with you being 100, you'll complete a quest line. It is going to be spec specific here. So as you're going through with all of your alts and even swapping specs, you'll need to acquire a weapon with each alt and spec, which is actually quite nice because it is, since it is, it's storyline specific for each specification. So you're actually going to be going through something different instead of just having to acquire the same quest, doing the same things over and over again for your alts and even for different specializations when it comes to your actual artifact weapon. Now, a few things to note here. Your artifact weapon is actually going to grow with you. So as you go, as you get more along with item level and stuff like that, your artifact weapon power will grow as well as your stats, your item level, and as you see here, which we'll talk about this a little bit later, is the ranks. So it's also important to note here that there's going to be some specific special kind of relics that are going to increase your weapon's item level and also unlock additional ranks for some minor traits. Now, there's, as you see, there's this is kind of reminiscent of the old talent tree, which I do like because you have to unlock one to be able to have access to certain other ones. This is going to be your main one here, but with those relics, those will actually be socketed here. And as you see, you have the shadow artifact, relic slot, fire, and fell, which obviously these are warlock in general and in nature. So definitely something that you'll be able to grind out and look forward to having. And then of course you have your one usable for your artifact weapon, which is pretty nice. Now the floating skull itself, I have to be, if I'm being 100% honest about how I feel in regards to the floating skull, I feel like it's just really awkward. I would have preferred the Demonology Warlock to be holding the skull in their hands. I guess that's a little bit too much. I guess that's a little bit too much reminiscent of the Gul'dan skull and actually being able to hold it. But at the end of the day, I feel like that's something that should have been done. I don't know. They fixed some of the animation, so it kind of follows a little bit better than it used to, but it's still so bizarre to me that it just kind of hangs out. I don't really... I guess I don't really understand what the purpose of it is. I think it should just be kind of in the Warlock's hand. Similar to Illidan holding Gul'dan's skull. But that's just my 2 cents. Don't take it too seriously if I've offended any of you Demonology Warlocks out there. Don't be offended. Just giving my 2 cents on the visual appealing. Now, it's important to note that you have control over what you unlock in what order when it comes to this side here. So you can start with the right side, you can start with the left side, and you'll get your artifact power doing your Warlock quest haul. All your different questing and stuff in Legion is going to be how you actually acquire that power. So, luckily, they give us all of that power here so that we can go over and we can talk about what it means to utilize this beautiful artifact weapon in Legion. So, with all of that being said, let's jump right in, shall we? So the first thing when dealing with the artifact weapon is going to be your usable. So this is going to be the rest of these are going to be passive abilities. So this is going to be your usable. And this is Thalkael's consumption. If I said it wrong, guys, don't judge me. It is what it is. This does have a small cast time. It's on a 45-second cooldown, and this actually drains 10% of the life from your demon servants and unleashes a blast of shadow damage at your current target equal to the life he stole. Now, those of you who are looking forward to the new gameplay when it comes to Demonology Warlock, make sure you guys check out my my Demonology Warlock spell and talent preview. You should be able to find the playlist for it on the channel, but it's important for you to be able to understand some of the spells and talents that you're going to be dealing with the newly revamped Demonology, as they've pretty much redesigned the way that it plays. It's essentially a completely different spec now, which I do prefer. Compared to the old, I do think they fixed a lot of utility and functionality, but you can go over that with the video that I did provide. But with you being able to master your demons, and that's basically who you're going to be controlling, and where a lot of your damage and your power is going to come from, it would make sense that you would be able to take some life from your demons, since that's pretty much what Demonology is going to be about. You also have the Breath of Thao. Now, as we said, these are passive abilities. This does increase fire and shadow damage dealt by 5%. This is a rank 1, so this is going to be the top of this specific set. You have Sharpened Dread Fangs. This is this can go up to rank 3. This does increase the critical strike chance of your Dreadstalkers by 5%, which is pretty nice. And I think since it is rank 3, you can probably assume your first rank is going to be 5%, and then it'll increment by 5 from there. You also have your Fell Skin, which is something that's not new. I believe maybe this might have been Mists of Pandaria. They phased it out through Warlords of Draenor. They took our Fell Armor and our Demon Skin that we used to have. I'm a little fuzzy on which expansion it was, but when your health drops below 35%, Soul League increases to split 40% of all damage taken between you, with you and your demon pet, which is pretty nice. You also have Firm Resolve. This is going to be 3 ranks possible. Reduce the cooldown of Unending Resolve by 30 seconds. That's no small feat since Unending Resolve is on a minute cooldown. You also have Legion Wrath. This can go up to rank 3, increases damage dealt by Demon Wrath by 30%, which is going to be a really nice damage boost. Looking forward to you Demonology Warlocks being able to utilize that as far as your artifact weapon. For Thalkeal's Discord, this can go up to rank 1. Shadow Bolt sometimes enrages, causing him to teleport an enemy and scream for 90k shadow damage to all nearby enemies over 6 seconds, and fear lesser undead and demons. So that's actually pretty nice. Quite horrific if you think about it. I do appreciate the fantasy that they did add with some of these traits. That's pretty cool. I like that. You also have Dirty Hands. This increases damage dealt by Hand of Gul'dan by 15%. Now, keep in mind that this is a 3rd rank, so you're probably looking at an increase, rank 1 starting at 5% as far as that's concerned as well. You also have the Expendables. This is going to be rank 1. Now, when your wild imps expire or die, because they come out for a certain amount of time, your other demons are inspired and gain 1% additional damage, stacking up to 15 times. So I can't be mad about that. I think that's pretty awesome. Your wild imps, I'm not really sure. You'll have to check out the Demonology video to find out what the cooldown is on that, or how long they're active for, in order to be able to know how viable that is. But I think that's pretty awesome. Then your Doom Doubled. This goes up to rank 1. Doom has a chance to deal double damage. I mean, this is amazing. Since Doom is going to be an integral part of your rotation as a Demonology Warlock. So I think that that's pretty nice, and dealing double damage, you can never say no to double. Infernal Furnace, this goes up to rank 3, increases damage dealt by your Wild Imp's Firebolt by 30%. Then you also have the Maw of Shadows. This can also go up to rank 3, increases the critical strike chance of your Shadow Bolt by 15%. Then you have Stolen Power. When your Wild Imps cast Firebolt and gain an application of Stolen Power, after you reach 100 applications, your next Shadow Bolt deals 100% increased damage. That's a lot. And then you also have the Summoner's Prowess. This is rank 3, so you have 3 options of being able to upgrade this specific trait. Increases the haste and health provided by your demonic empowerment, by your demonic empowerment for 6%, which is pretty awesome. Your Imp Orator, this really made me laugh. This is rank 1, increases the critical strike chance of your Wild Imp's Fell Firebolt by 35%. Your Wild Imps, those are pretty nice, and they're fun, especially when you summon your Dreadstalkers and an Imp is riding your Dreadstalker, which hopefully you guys got a chance to check out the spell and talent preview video. But that's pretty nice. Increased 35% damage, pretty cool, especially with the spread damage on mobs. Then you have the Open Link. This can go up to rank 3. Increases healing done by your Soul Link by 30%, which is awesome. That's a good amount of damage there, so definitely something to look forward to there. And then, of course, you have your Thalkeal's Lingering Power. It's a passive ability. This costs an extreme amount of power. This basically just pushes your artifact weapon beyond the threshold that it's currently at 110, and will allow you to continuously increase its power so you don't get bored throughout the expansion and can always wreck. Now, let's talk about the last and final thing here. I want to talk about something that's important, which is going to be your skull appearance. This is something that you're going to be able to manage. You're going to be able to unlock these with the various different things. You're going to be able to, these are going to be, you know, completing campaign order halls. There's going to be warlock quest halls. There's going to be certain achievements, as well as certain quest lines that you're going to be able to complete here, so that you can unlock these different views and additions to be able to kind of make this even more better. Then, of course, for this final one, this is important, the Burning Remnant. This is pretty cool because this is in relation to PvP. I really liked this when I did the destruction video, because I think this is nice that they're giving everybody an option to be different, since the gear, since you're going to be using this in light of PvP, you won't use a different weapon here. You're going to be using this for PvP as well. So it's really nice that you can actually have this look changed here by prestiging, which is the new, which we're going to go over that in another video, but that's going to be the new way that you're going to be able to gain your PvP power, is with the honor system and prestiging. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of a preview. It's kind of difficult because the skull's floating so high for me to be able to kind of showcase the different looks of what we have going on here, but I can change the colors at least and hope that this is just an awful view. It's not really helpful. So if you're getting, I'm going to try not to turn the screen so nobody gets sick. That's going to be what seems to be kind of a more yellow version of the mouth specifically. And then, of course, for your gaze of the first summoner, you have the green version, which that definitely is pretty awesome looking. That kind of looks like me in the morning before I've had my coffee, if I'm to be quite honest. Then you have the purple version. Then you have the red version. And then, of course, you have what appears to be a yellow, maybe, version. Then for the Pride of the Pit Lord, this is going to be by completing certain achievements and quest lines, which looks like it's specific to dungeons, which is pretty awesome. So the first one is going to be the Fell Green. I'll wait for him to come back around. He's a little slow, or not. Okay, guess he's not going to come back around. Then we're going to go with the purple. That looks pretty badass. Then we've got the orange. Nice, different colors besides just your standard red and blue. And then, of course, you have the yellow, which I do particularly fancy the look of the yellow here. Then, of course, for your PvP, could you not be happy with this, guys? If you guys are PvPing as Demonology, how freaking awesome is the look of this skull? Like, I'm tempted, in truth, just to be able to have this skull to do stuff on Demonology. Maybe even roll a second Warlock so I don't have to swap talents, focus on one for the gear. Isn't that so cool? And then this appears to be a purple, more of a light purple rather, not so much in dark in nature. So you'll be able to unlock these. So as you guys can see in relation to the artifact weapon, no matter what spec you're choosing, they've given you a lot of options and a lot of things to work for as far as being able to unlock all the things and really make this weapon super powerful, since this is going to be what you're going to be using the entire length of Legion and possibly future expansions, depending upon how everyone takes to these artifact weapons. So before I end this video, I want to let you guys know, obviously you can maintain your artifact weapon traits and abilities here by going to this is your class hall, which is the Dreadscar Rift, and clicking here, or you can also shift and right click and you'll be able to engage your UI here as well. You won't be able to change your appearances, but you'll be able to see the traits. So with that being said, I'm pretty happy with all the things that we saw today in relation to this specific artifact weapon for Demonology, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to the PWNCAST YouTube channel, please make sure that you guys do subscribe to the channel so that you can always be up to date on all this information. And as always, feel free to like this video. You're already here, you might as well give it a little bit of like. Make sure you look out for the other specs and classes, as I'm going to be doing all of them over the course of the next week. But I do want to thank you so much for tuning in today, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.